Hello, and welcome to my podcast series, Independence for Life, diving into management, instruction, and guidance of your lifestyle as you continue your journey through life and into retirement/older age. Hi, my name is Nancy Brunick-Hardy. I am an integrative nutrition health coach, nutritionist, certified caregiver, and fitness professional and instructor. I work independently in every capacity as described. I am the creator of Independence for Life. I am continuing my preparation of upcoming podcasts to help guide you toward the journey of independence for life. So let's begin your journey through Independence for Life and keep in mind your why for being here today. And being healthy is not about weight loss you may experience, but about the life you gain by being a healthy weight, which is different for everyone. In podcasts 1 and 2, I provided the basis for why I started Independence for Life and what it is, but basically I am here to spread the word about the importance of movement, proper nutrition, and preparation for older age. I am a fitness professional and I am here to educate people about movement and continued mobility with exercise. Today's podcast is number 3 and the topic is Food Matters Too. I'm going to give you a brief background of my weight loss journey. Here is my story. I lost 50 pounds in 2008. With the help of a fitness professional. I lost 25 pounds with her, and I learned how to do it on my own, which enabled me to lose an additional 25 pounds. Before this transformation, I didn't realize how much bad food I was eating and what it was doing to me. At that time, I didn't realize it was the bad food I was eating that was making me feel awful every single day. I was uneducated in this area. My weight went up and down for over a decade. What changed my life was a photograph I saw of myself. Someone else took the picture of me at a party. I didn't even recognize myself. I decided to start exercising to get rid of the extra weight. I exercised religiously for a year without changing my eating habits. So I had no change in my weight. My ultimate goal was weight loss. I was in my mid-30s at the time. So at this point, I had had enough. I realized that I needed help with food too, because food matters too. I learned how to eat properly and have been following that same lifestyle change ever since. Those 50 pounds never came back. My journey took me on a lifestyle change, not a fad diet. I've done those before with temporary luck, and the weight always came back and then some. After my transformation, I became an exercise instructor and eventually an integrative nutrition health coach and nutritionist. I believe that if I could change my terrible ways, then anyone could, and I wanted to help them. To this day, I promote health and wellness in the capacity of a health coach and fitness professional, and I also continue to work on myself. So let us dive into our podcast for today, and the mission behind my podcast is to help you understand the connection between movement and nutrition. Nutritional health and physical health are connected. Knowing this connection and the effects of it will change your day and maybe even your life like it did for me. In my own experience, it's hard to feel my best if I only focus on better eating habits or if I only focus on exercise. I personally need both of them to feel my best. So in this podcast, I will go over clean eating and processed foods. So please know that food is a huge category, so look out for future podcasts on this subject. There's so much to talk about, and I'm only going to start with clean eating processed foods at the very beginning of them, because there's so much to all of this. And I want you to hear everything that I've learned, researched, studied, and gone through myself. So let's begin. So perhaps you've heard of the 80-20 rule in diet and exercise. This rule suggests that 80% of results come from diet and 20% of results come from exercise. So when they talk about the 80-20 rule, these are only guidelines. It doesn't have to be so specific. So they're just trying to tell you that for weight loss, and this is geared in my mind toward weight loss, that 80% is food, 20% is exercise. That's what I found for my own self, something like that. But that's for weight loss. And my mission in life is to guide you through diet and exercise for life, not just specifically for weight loss. So exercise for life, not for looks. That's my slogan. Okay, so just so you understand where I'm coming from. This rule suggests that you should focus on eating nutritious foods 80% of the time and then less healthy options 20% of the time. Again, if you want to follow that, okay, I understand. It helps you. It helps to guide you, to keep you on the straight and narrow. But these are just numbers, and they can be played with. It also suggests that dedicating 80% of your workout to low intensity and 20% to high intensity. Well, I don't really believe that either, but if that helps you through, great, okay? That's the 80-20 rule with diet and exercise. And I bring that up because it should only be a guideline. It should not be a way of life. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And I will be going over other ways that may be better for you. I'm also going to touch briefly on the food revolution, because I believe that we are definitely in one. So in this country, the number of people that are overweight or obese is staggering. Heart disease and strokes are killing thousands of people each year. These diseases are directly linked to food and lifestyle changes. What science tells us not to eat or eat less of is being subsidized by us, the taxpayer. The government provides billions of dollars in subsidies for commodities crops like corn, wheat, and soy that are processed into high fructose corn syrup, white flour, and animal feed for factory farms. So what's a factory farm? Well, factory farming, also known as concentrated animal feeding operations, equals something quick and something cheap. It's an industrialized method of raising livestock that prioritizes high output and low cost, often resulting in inhumane conditions for animals and significant environmental impacts. So I just wanted to touch on the food revolution with you today briefly, so you understand what's happening, and also know that that's going to be a future podcast topic. So now let's get into the meat of the podcast today, clean eating. So clean eating, that's an industry term, and a lot of people have different definitions of it. So here's what I've come up with. Clean eating is rehabilitating your diet by way of removing all nutritionally devoid foods, meaning no processed, artificially flavored, artificially sweetened, artificially colored, fatty, fried, sugary, refined, unnatural items, and replacing it all with whole foods. Clean eating is not a one-size-fits-all way to live. Everyone has a different genetic makeup, and science is always making new discoveries. So this makes it hard to pinpoint an ideal diet. Another problem with getting people to understand what clean eating is that everyone seems to have a different definition of what it actually means. So clean eating is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's not a short-term fix. A diet is something you do for a short period of time, maybe like a month or two, so you can lose the weight quickly, and then you return to your normal eating habits and gain all the weight back. and ultimately you become unhappy yet again. If you want to be successful in feeling your best with movement and nutrition, you will need to rehab your relationship with movement and nutrition and continuing this new way of life forever. So let me jump back to the beginning of clean eating, where I spoke of rehabilitating and getting rid of anything processed, anything artificial, anything fried, fatty, sugary. Okay, so that seems extreme, right? So I don't recommend jumping in with both feet and completely taking out every bad thing that you've ever had, because I've tried to do that myself and I was not successful. So weaning off, if you will, or cutting back. Okay, so it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I find that to be too harsh. Most people don't even want to hear that, and I understand. So going back to what I just said, clean eating is not deprivation, and diets may instruct you to eat less, which I do not agree with. When eating things like lean proteins, you have chicken breast, turkey breast, fish, tofu, egg whites, Greek yogurt, and if you're going to have yogurt, please make it Greek yogurt, okay? Veggies, you have broccoli, kale, romaine lettuce, green beans. There's also ancient whole grains, which are gluten-free, the ones I'm going to speak of. There's amaranth, millet, teff, and also good fats like coconut milk and oil, almonds, avocados, and avocado oil. So all of these foods that I just spoke of keep you feeling fuller longer. And clean eating is not perfection. So just like I said to you, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. That's not ideal. That's not realistic. Eat healthy most of the time, and you don't have to be 100% strict all of the time. Give yourself that break. And if you really want that sweet treat, perhaps make your own or purchase a better for you choice. There's a lot of things that I make on my own, and I can certainly share my recipes with you. So if you do reach for that sweet treat, it's not a setback. You'll need to have flexibility. Give yourself a break. Give yourself that self-love and patience. And once you get used to clean eating, your palate, body, and mind will readjust, and you'll actually crave clean eating. So let me give you an example of what all of that means, okay? Before my transformation, I ate garbage all the time, all day, and I didn't realize what I was doing. And like I said, I saw that picture of myself, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that I had put on those pounds. I didn't realize it. So my mentor who helped me lose the first 25 pounds, she gave me a lifestyle plan, and I followed that plan. But at the beginning, I said, I'm really mad because I can't right now, or she asked me for the first 2 to 3 weeks, just to not even have any of the garbage that I was eating. She's like, let's just try that. And she approached me in a nice, soft way, and she asked me if I was willing to try that. And I said, yeah, like I'm willing to try anything. So she said, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, don't have any of the garbage that you were eating. So I went home that day and I got out my pen and paper, and I wasn't mad at her. I was mad at the process, because I'm like, oh, I can't have Oreos. I can't have cookies. I can't have Doritos. So I said to myself, I'm going to write all this stuff down, everything that I had been eating, because when I'm done with these 2 to 3 weeks of my clean eating, I'm going to go right back to them. So I made this big list: Oreos, Ho-Hos, ice cream, candy, Doritos, potato chips. I wrote it all down. I'm like, I'm going back to all this. Let me tell you, after the 2 to 3 weeks, I don't want any of it anymore. It changed my palate, my body, and my mind. I got readjusted. And that's when I started craving clean eating. So when we do talk about eating, I'm sure you've heard of eating the rainbow. Excellent piece of advice. Love that. Try all the colors. Try everything, because you don't know unless you try. Okay, just try it all. Let's talk about those colors and what they stand for. You have white, which is strengthen immune system. Garlic is super great for that. So if you take a a clove of garlic. You roast it in the oven, it softens it up and it becomes sweet and really delicious. Yellow produce fortifies skin elasticity. Orange, prevent inflammation. Red, improve heart and blood health. Purple, protect nervous system. And green, detoxify. Oh, those lovely leafy dark greens, right? So clean eating, it doesn't have to be strict. Find what works for you. I can obviously help you with that, help you with a plan, help you with a lifestyle change because I've done it myself. And everything that I talk to you about in my podcasts, I've either experienced myself, assisted someone else directly, or have learned in school. Let's jump to processed foods. So I'm going to use the word avoid, and nobody likes to hear avoid because that means totally gone. Okay, so you take that word avoid to what that means for you, and it could be cutting back, right? So I'm just going to use the word avoid just for ease here. So avoid processed foods. So fast and processed foods, they are convenient, yes, but you're paying for them with your health and your weight. They are loaded with chemical additives, trans fats, and loads of salt and sugar. They are broken down before you ingest them, so it takes less time to digest, so you'll feel hungry sooner, and it may lead to unhealthy cravings. Foods that use artificial sweeteners, sodium, and preservatives are quite addictive. They are made to be that way. Weaning off processed foods, or cutting back, or avoiding, depending on which word you want to use, it will change your taste buds, which will cause you to not crave them, not want them anymore. And like what I went through, it does take about 2 to 3 weeks, probably toward the 3-week end. Many are easy to find at any of grocery stores, gas stations, like processed foods, fast foods. It's in your face all the time. You see it when you're in the world, you see it on your television. But rise above, fight against. Eating whole food is so much more satisfying versus eating foods hiding behind a blanket of nutritionally invaluable garbage. Let's remember that not all processed foods are equal. They span a spectrum ranging from minimally processed items like a bag of spinach to heavily processed foods like frozen fish sticks or chicken nuggets in the freezer. The closer your foods are to the minimally processed side, the closer you are to clean eating. So let me explain about the processed bag of spinach. So it's processed because they took the leaves off of the bag, cleaned them, put them in a plastic bag for you. That's the process. That's it. Okay, so it's not like what they do to fish sticks because fish don't come in sticks, right? So if we look at it at a logical standpoint, it makes complete sense. So the spinach is ready for you to eat and it's still in its natural form. The fish has been turned into a stick. That doesn't sound natural to me. Also, if you're reading packages, boxed foods, which if we could try to limit that, if you can't pronounce the ingredient, you probably shouldn't eat it. Or if it's made in a lab, you probably shouldn't eat it. I will also be going over in another podcast what the terms mean of non, low, and full fat. Most things that are low fat are a chemical nightmare. So look for that one to come. Going back to the word avoid, I'm going to tell you avoid most refined foods. So some of the refined foods are white flour, sugars, high fructose corn syrup, trans fats, etc. They have undergone processing to remove certain components like bran, germ, and fiber. So in weight loss, specifically body fat, cutting out refined sugars, which due to their effect on insulin levels and stored fat, aids in fat loss. So There we go with the cutting back, cutting out, avoiding refined sugars. And I do that not all of the time, but like I told you earlier, I bake my own goods. And if the recipe calls for a cup of sugar in a cookie dough batter, do you really need the whole cup of sugar? Absolutely not. You can cut that all the way down to a quarter of a cup. So you're still getting the sweet from the sugar and from the chocolate chips that you're putting in there. And once you get used to eating that way, that's what you'll crave. And then you'll eventually at some point try, quote unquote, a normal cookie with normal ingredients, and you'll say, whoa, that's way too sweet for me. So this will change for you. Okay. Also, what I do and what I've been doing since my transformation is avoiding drinking calories. Soda has tons of sugar, and diet soda has tons of artificial sweeteners. I also drink fruit juice in the morning, but I read the labels of my fruit juice. So if you're going to be picking fruit juice, often a lot of them are made with refined sugar as well as natural sugar. So read the label. And I will also be teaching you how to read a label in a future podcast. Okay, more avoiding stuff coming at you. Avoid GMO food as much as possible. So GMOs, they're genetically modified organisms. They're plants or animals that have been genetically engineered with DNA from other plants, animals, bacteria, and viruses. The experimental combinations they create are done in labs and involve combining genes from different species that cannot occur in nature or even in traditional crossbreeding. Think about that. Most other countries consider GMOs to be unsafe and have restrictions or bans on production and sale. Think about that. In the U.S., the government has approved GMOs based on studies conducted by the same corporations that have created them and profit from their sale. Think about that. Powerful biotech lobbyists, an example would be Monsanto, is not allowing us to know what foods contain GMO. In the absence of mandatory labeling, the Non-GMO Project was created to give the consumer the informed choice. So if you're looking at prepackaged foods, look for the non-GMO seal. Organically certified produce is non-GMO. There are companies who choose to remain non-GMO. So choose them and let them know that big lobbyists like Monsanto that you're not going to purchase their products. This will also be a future podcast topic, Monsanto and GMO. Let's get into the next topic, which is a big one. Foods that can cause cancer. Another side effect, if we can go back to that for a second, foods that can cause cancer. So food is fuel. It fuels the body. Why would it cause cancer, right? So that right there, that sentence should never be, but it is. Another side effect of processed, refined, artificial, and GMO food is a big risk of cancer and chronic diseases. The American Institute for Cancer Research informs us to avoid processed meats like ham, hot dogs, nitrate-filled bacon, salami, and sausages due to dangerous preservatives and the increased risk for colon cancer. I'm going to tell you about microwave popcorn. Most people don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. It contains diacetyl, which is a chemical for buttery flavor. So where's the actual butter, right? And the bigger cancer-causing issue is its packaging, which is made of carcinogens. So if you're going to want popcorn, because we all do, let's reach for the air popper, or you just make it on the stovetop. Yes, it takes more time and effort, but put that time in for yourself. Anything non-organic, you got your fruits and veggies, they contain pesticides. Your farm-raised salmon can have high concentrations of several cancer-causing substances, so purchase wild salmon. And your fruits and vegetables, when you can, purchase organic or maybe even a combination of organic and non-organic because I know it's expensive. So let's try to make the best choices that we can for ourselves. When it comes to hydrogenated oils, they start out as healthy oils, but are exposed to extreme heat and chemical additives to give them a consistency more similar to silicone than to oil. This processing changes the oil at a molecular level, making it thicker and are cancer-causing food to avoid. So anything hydrogenated, fully and partially, please avoid those oils. They are clearly spelled out in the ingredients on your packaged food. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to give you a list of 13 preservatives, and I will read through them quickly. But just know that's not all of them, but I wanted to highlight these. And these extend the life of food, which will increase the profits of the manufacturers and decrease your life expense. Most of them are connected to cancer, allergic reactions, and much more. So preservatives is a broad category of chemical compounds. So like I said, I'm going to go over these. There are many more out there in the world. Sometimes they even go as far as changing the name of it to try to trick you or use other names. So just because I'm telling you these names today, they may have a different name tomorrow. We just have to remain educated, and I will do my best for you. Number 1, BHA and BHT. They keep food from changing color, changing flavor, or becoming rancid. They are oxidants. So you hear all the time about antioxidants. Well, these are oxidants. They're found in gum, cereal, bread, crackers, potato chips, nut mixes, enriched rice, large shortening, candy, jello, etc. I'm always going to say etc. because it's in more things than we want to realize. Potential risks: neurological problems, behavioral issues, hormonal issues, metabolic dysfunction, cancer. Number 2, TBHQ. Prevents oxidation and rancidity and extends shelf life. Found in cosmetic and personal care items, instant noodles, crackers, candies, commercial pizza, etc. Potential risk: nausea and vomiting, tinnitus, delirium, sense of suffocation, liver toxicity, and reproductive mutations. This one is very deadly, and again, that was TBHQ. Number 3, sodium benzoate. Inhibits growth of bacteria, mold, and yeast. Extends shelf life. Found in soft drinks, fruit juices, salad dressings. Salad dressings should be its own podcast because it is absolutely ridiculous. You go ahead and make a beautiful salad and dump a bunch of garbage on top of it, aka salad dressing. Pickles, etc. Potential risk: hyperactivity, asthma, cirrhosis of the liver, Parkinson's disease, and cancer. Number 4, sodium nitrate and nitrite. It's chemicals that turn meats bright red and is highly carcinogenic when ingested and wreaks havoc internally, especially the liver and pancreas. It's linked to many cancers. They are found in deli meats, bacon, ham, smoked fish, hot dogs, and any other type of processed meats. The potential risks: colorectal, stomach, and pancreatic cancers. Number 5 is a big word I'm going to try to pronounce. Azodicarbonamide. Dough conditioner in commercial baked goods. But listen to where it comes from. It's a plastic chemical found in yoga mats and shoe rubber. Potential risk: cancer, asthma, and allergies. So why do they add that to dough conditioner? It's a filler. It's cheap because they don't care about us. Number 6, aspartame. This is a big one because it comes by many different names. It's also known as NutraSweet equals saccharin, sucralose, Splenda, and it's a toxic sweetener found in diet and sugar-free products. Guys, there's no such thing as a sugar-free product. It's either natural sugar or artificial. It's never sugar-free. Also found in Jell-O desserts, sugar-free gum, drink mixes, cereal, breath mints, puddings, Kool-Aid, iced tea, toothpaste, cough syrup, so on and so forth. It is a neurotoxin and carcinogen. It erodes intelligence and affects short memory. May lead to tumors and diseases, diabetes, MS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety, dizziness, headaches, nausea, mental confusion, seizures. Number 7, high fructose corn syrup. Another one that I hate. It's a food sweetener. So most processed foods, bread, candy, flavored yogurt, remember I said stick with Greek yogurt, salad dressings, here we are again with that, canned vegetables. Why would they put that in canned vegetables? Cereals. It's a highly refined artificial sweetener, which is a major source of calories and packs on the pounds faster than any other ingredient and contributes to the development of obesity and diabetes. Why are they doing this to us? Number 8, monosodium glutamate, that's MSG. It's used to enhance flavor. Where would you find that? You guessed it, Chinese food, potato chips, cookies, seasonings, soup products. That's right, your soup. Frozen dinners, lunch meats. It affects neurological pathways of the brain. And get this, it disengages the I'm full function, which may lead to weight gain, which is also true of high fructose corn syrup. Number 9, trans fats. So trans fats they may still be present in the products that you're buying, but they don't have to tell you that they're in there if they're lower than a certain percentage. Thank you, government. Trans fats, partial and full hydrogenated vegetable oils. Terrible products. They are in margarine, which is not even real food, chips, crackers, baked goods, fast foods. It increases the bad cholesterol while decreasing the good. Increases risk of heart attack, heart disease, and strokes. Contributes to increased inflammation, diabetes, and many other health problems. Number 10, we have a common food dyes, and I know they're trying to make changes, I know to one of them at least, but I'm going to just spell it out. We have blue 1 and 2, red 3 and 40, yellow 6, and yellow tartrazine. They are artificial colorings found in candy, cereal, soft drinks, sports drinks. Watch your sports drinks. You think you're doing yourself good, but you may be doing yourself harm. Pet foods, fruit cocktail, maraschino cherries, ice cream, bakery products, American cheese, and mac and cheese. They may contribute to behavioral problems like ADD and ADHD and may lead to significant reduction in IQ and also may be linked to cancer. Number 11, sodium sulfite. You'll find it in wine and dried fruit, and a lot of people may be sensitive to it and experience asthma, headaches, breathing problems, and rashes. Number 12, sodium dioxide. It's used as a preservative in beers, soft drinks, dried fruit, juices, wines, cordials, vinegar, potato products. So sulfur additives, they're toxic. The adverse reactions could be bronchial problems, asthma, hypotension, anaphylactic shock. It also destroys vitamins B and E in the body, and get this, not recommended for consumption by children. But it's okay for adults? The last one, for today anyway, is potassium bromate. It's used to increase the volume in bread and rolls, and it's known to cause cancer in animals. Even small amounts are harmful for humans, so why are they putting it in bread, and why are we eating it? Processed foods sold here in the United States are banned in other countries. This is because of their harmful additives, growth promoters, genetically engineered ingredients, and dangerous practices. So, why does the food industry formulate safer, better products for other countries? Why is it okay for Americans to eat toxic foods? To avoid these dangers, avoid processed foods. Learning to read food labels and understanding what may not be on the label is as important of your diet as most people trying to avoid them. And it doesn't have to be 100% of the time. Reading food labels will be another topic. So learning what's not in there is just as important as avoiding processed foods. So how do we begin avoiding processed foods? How do we begin with clean eating? I'm going to give you the basics today, and that will certainly be just a starting point for you. You can always reach out to me if you have any questions. I will give you my email address at the end or how to find me. Let's talk about meat. So anything that you purchase whenever possible, whether it be meats or produce or anything, even if it's packaging, quality. Quality is what we're looking for when possible, when your wallet will allow. So if you're eating meat, let's try to get grass-fed as much as possible. Yes, it's more expensive, but it's healthier. And if you go for lower quality, there are chemicals they put in there which can accumulate in the fatty tissue. So let's try for more quality than less quality when possible. Let's include our healthy fats because they don't make you fat. They're actually good for you. And we can find them in fish like whitefish, salmon, anchovies, sardines. You can find the good fats in nuts and seeds like walnuts, almonds, pecans, even chia, flax, and hemp seeds. How about those avocados and eggs and oils and real butter? But if we're going for oils, we want to look for extra virgin olive oil, virgin coconut oil, avocado oil, and your dairy products, right? Whole dairy products or grass-fed beef. Those are your good fats. Vegetables. Get as many vegetables as you can. Make sure you have a variety of them. Eat the rainbow. That's like the best advice. Eat the rainbow. Vegetables all day. Fruit. So in weight loss, fruit in moderation. In maintenance, fruit, I think, is a beautiful sweet treat. So it in my mind, fruit, it's a nutritious alternative to candy and other refined sugars, but it is possible to eat too much. So let's not overdo it. Let's not have fruit all day long. Let's maybe 1 or 2 pieces a day, because eating too much fruit may lead to problems with hormones which regulate your blood sugar and can mess up your fat loss. So like I said, if you're looking to lose weight, fruit in moderation. If you're on the maintenance, a few servings a day, I don't see anything wrong with it. Drinking and fluid intake. Drinking pure filtered water is the best way to stay hydrated. So if we can ditch the soda and moderation with coffee, okay, because coffee has caffeine. Caffeine will be a future podcast. And if you're going to have caffeine, the best time to have it is in the morning. So pure filtered water is your best hydrator. But you may also want to reach for something else on occasion, and I get that. So coconut water or aloe vera juice, they're beautiful choices also. Just avoiding the soda. Let's try to avoid those sports drinks too, because it depends on the ingredients. And coffee, because of the caffeine, stick to it just in the morning, 1 cup. If you're worried about counting your macronutrients, some people do this, their calories, fat, carbs, and proteins. Those ratios, they vary according to your genetic makeup, your body type, your activities, etc. So the bottom line is that there is no magical macronutrient ratio for fat loss or muscle gain. But you want to make sure you're including all your macronutrients in your meals, and this will also be a future podcast. So bottom line, clean eating, avoiding the garbage, whole foods are best. So there's plenty of lean protein, vegetables all day long, fruits in moderation, drinking plenty of water, and getting in those healthy fats. Okay, so if we balance all of that, I think we'll be more successful. Podcast number 4 is the next one to come, and that one is going to discuss it's never too late for nutritional and fitness rebalancing. And I thank you for being here today and continuing to listen to my future podcasts. I have a lot to say to you. You can find me at Independence for Life, and that's a number 4. So Independence, the number 4, Life. If you want to send me an email, if you're looking for more information, it is IND, the number 4, Life, LLC, @gmail.com. So again, my handle is Independence for Life, and my email is IND4LIFE LLC @gmail.com. I am here for any questions that you have or guidance or instruction. And I hope you continue to listen to my future podcasts. I have a lot to tell you. Thank you for being here today.